we want to display two sequences of numbers. One sequence would be increasing and another sequence would be at the same time decreasing. For example, I want to display 1 in the first sequence, then in the next I would like to display 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, like this. One sequence of numbers are increasing. At the same time, I want to display another sequence which would be decreasing, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That means I want to display 1 and 5 in one line, and in the next line 2 and 4, in the next line 3, 3, in the next line 4, 2, in the next line 5, 1. That means the first sequence is incremented by 1, whereas the second sequence is decremented by 1. So this is the task given to us, and we are supposed to develop the algorithm for this. Algorithm to display two sequences. Say I say two given sequences of numbers. So one sequence in the increasing order and another sequence in the decreasing order. Of course, this we want to do using a while loop. Let me take the first sequence is represented by the variable I, and the second sequence is represented by the variable j. So we can take the initially I value as 1 and j value as 5. And how many times these sequences are repeated? These sequences are repeated, if you are counting, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4 and 5. So 5 times I can repeat these sequences. And when you are displaying, how to display? So I have to display something like this: print I value and j value. And you have to increment I value by 1 every time. So you have to take I is equal to I plus 1. And you have to decrement j value every time by 1. So you have to write j is equal to j minus 1. So this is the logic we are going to use in our algorithm. It's very easy. Now let us write the step number 1, start. Step number 2, here the initial value of I am taking as 1, and the value of j I am taking as 5. This is in the step number 2. Why? Because we are supposed to display this sequence only, where I values are changing, increasing from 1 to 5, j values are decreasing from 5 to 1. So this type of sequence, this sequence only, same sequence we will display. Of course, here I am writing a while loop. While some condition is required here, do, that means execute. So what I am supposed to do is I have to print I value and j value, and every time I have to increase I value by 1 and I have to decrease j value by 1. So we will be writing these two statements. Now how to write the condition? Please remember this sequence, these two sequences are displayed in 5 steps. There are 5 steps here. Step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 steps. So if I am taking I value 1 to 5, there are 5 steps. So the condition I can write like this: as long as I value less than or equal to 5. So please observe this. I value is initially 1. So 1 less than or equal to 5. 1 less than or equal to 5 is true. So it will display I value 1, j value 5. Then I value will be incremented by 1. So I value will be 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, true. Then it will display I value 2, j value 4. Why? Because you have decremented j value by 1. So like this condition represents that the statements inside the while loop will be repeated exactly 5 times, because I values is starting at 1 and ending at 5. So 1 to 5 means 5 times these 3 statements are executed, and every time I value is incremented by 1, j value is decremented by 1. So we will get the correct output. Then in the 4th step I can stop my algorithm. Let me translate or convert this program into this algorithm into a Python program. Python program to display 2 sequences in the given manner. I want to display these sequences or numbers. The second step is I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 5. In Python, you need not declare the variable like int I, float to j, something like that, string x, like that. You need not write into, float to, string, char, etc. data types. So you can take the variable, directly store the value like this. And a semicolon separates 2 statements. So this is statement 1, semicolon, statement 2. When you are writing more than one statement in the same line, you have to use semicolon to separate them. Next I am writing while I less than or equal to 5. That means as long as I value less than 5 or equal to 5, continue this while loop. So print function, I want to display I value and then j value I want to display. So I can write I comma j. So please remember, in Python, print function can display n number of values. You have to separate those values using a comma. Then I is equal to I plus 1, j is equal to j minus 1. And our program ends here. Save the program, file save, and run the program, run module. You will see I values 1 to 5 and 1 space is given. Automatically Python will generate this space. Then these j values are decremented 5 to 1. So whenever you write I comma j, between I and j, 1 space is generated by Python automatically. Suppose you wanted to separate I and j values with some star symbols or hyphens, something like that. You can write that string also. For example, here I am writing double quote, hyphen, 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 hyphen. 5 hyphens I am writing, double quote, that is a string, then comma. Now please observe what it will do is it will display I value, then 5 hyphens. It will display, because this is a string. String means group of characters. So hyphen is also a character. So this string is displayed as it is, and then j value it will display. So every time I value 5 hyphens and j value. So let us see this. Save, file save, and run module. So like this you will have the output.